What if you had a design system that already knew everything about your brand? So you could build a full website, put together new landing pages at a moment's notice, design email templates, and make entire batches of unbranded ad statics and social posts just with a couple clicks. Well, you finally can. It's exactly what I'm going to show you today using Claude Design. Look, I've spent over a decade helping e-commerce brands scale past 8 figures, and design has always been one of the slowest, most expensive parts of the job. It's important, but can be painfully slow. That is no longer the case with Claude. So in this video, I'll walk you through building your Claude design system step by step, even if you're new to it. And I'll do it using my own brand need as the example, so you can make everything your brand needs without ever having to pay a designer and having to wait. Let's get into it. All right, so step 1, build your brand design system. It all starts with building your design system, and in Claude, that's really just one place where it knows everything about how your brand looks and sounds, so you never have to constantly re-explain the style of your brand or say, no, that's off-brand. Once it's trained, it basically works like an in-house designer who already knows your colors, your fonts, your brand voice, and your products inside and out. So the first thing I'll do is I'll open up Claude Design. I'll start building the system for my own brand need. All right, so when creating a new Claude design system, you go to claude.ai/design, which can be a little bit different from where you're normally using Claude for the other features they have. So here you would go to design system and you can easily select create new. Using Claude code, you can also do it here if you already have things like Figma or GitHub or slides or any other assets where you're doing design and you want to import it in, you could start here as well. So that's essentially how you get started. And what you'll see here is you could put in the goal and mission of your brand, all the context on it. You can link it to your GitHub if you have that, or to any Fig files that you have, upload content. So this is a really good way to get started. So once you do this, you will then start to be in this experience. And what I want to show is essentially what we've built out for our own brand. So here's the layout of our design system. So first I'm gonna start with the README. So similar to being the normal LLM model for Claude, you can start to give it a lot of context. So here we're talking about the goal of the design system, what we actually are probably going to be designing with this tool, different sources of connectors we have from what we did with Figma to Air, where we have a lot of assets. We then talk about, okay, here's the different iconography, logos, fonts that we like to use, different UI kits for parts of the website. And this is where we'll even upload the ones that we like to use. We also have a lot of assets that are approved that we want to use for different purposes. We put that in there. We put in different types of logos we want to use, the actual color palettes that we're comfortable with for different parts of the website. And this kind of goes into the UI UX kits. And again, let's say you have a lot of assets because your brand's been around for a while. You can integrate it with different cloud storage companies. Like we use Air, and so we can integrate it in here. That way it keeps the token costs down and we can manage it there and let it pipe into our design system. The whole goal is to give it everything it needs to know about your brand in one place. So here's exactly what to load into it. Let's start with the basics that makes your brand instantly recognizable as its own. First, add in your logo, even if it's just clean or a font-based one. Then load in your color palette, because your colors are the easiest way for someone to recognize your brand before they even read a word. After that, you'll put in your fonts, ideally readable Google fonts that look right on every single device. Then give it your actual products and the way your brand sounds, and your product photos and the style of imagery you use. So anything it designs looks like it came from your brand. And again, you can give it your e-commerce shots, your editorial shots, any user-generated content, and make sure to write up a few notes on the words you use and the tone you want, which is basically your brand voice. And if you already have a project in Claude, maybe you have a brand book, you can port that over to the Claude design system. Last, give it your best converting page as a reference so it knows what good looks like or has a nice starting point. That's what shows Claude the page that's already making you money. So it's not just designing something that looks nice and from scratch, but actually can train off of something that's already converting and converting well. All right, step 2, design your website and landing page. Now that your whole brand is loaded into one system, you can start putting it to work. The first thing I did was have Claude Design build out our full website. So I just tell it the pages that I want, like home page, collection page, product detail page, about us page. So I'm in the Claude design system. We've built everything, and now I'm going to show you how I had it basically update our website based off of our brand kit, our existing pages that have worked, but to make something new and elevated. So you can kind of see here, there's lots of things we've been playing with and building. I'll go down here to Neat Website, and you can see this is one of the examples it's working on. And I had to do homepage, collection, product page, cart, and even the account experience. So I'm going to hit edit so you can see what this looks like. So right here, one thing that I really like is the navigation is so much better. We never had this before, even the urgency kind of red triggers, which is really nice. The other thing, these badges are something we see that are really working that they added in. Even having this kind of fun, feature-focused navigation is helpful as well. As we go here to the collection page, it's made it a little bit more visual rather than text-based, so you can fly it through on mobile. And then it's even done an elevated product detail page, which is super impressive. We didn't do any of this design. This was all made with Claude off of our brand kit, our top performing pages, and optimizing it from a CRO perspective. The bigger use though is building a fresh landing page for any offer or ad that you're running. So anytime you're launching a new ad campaign, you really want to have a page that matches that exact ad. Because when someone clicks an ad about one thing and then lands on a generic page, a lot of them leave without buying. So I'll just tell Claude Design, here's the offer, here's the actual ad, the ad copy, and it starts to build a dedicated page for this ad, and it's going to already be on brand and modeled off of our top converting pages. So I'm showing Claude Design right now, and I'm going to show how I built a custom ad landing page that aligns with the ads we're making. So first, you're in Claude, and we already built our design system. So you would go here and say you can select design system. I selected ours. If you already had templates of top ads or landing pages, you could use that. But for this one, we're actually starting from scratch. So I'll click this and I'll get started on the ad landing page. Okay, so you hit this button. Okay, we're now in this experience. And so what I'm showing is I actually did some pre-work on this. So first, let me show you what I started with. So now I'm in the Canvas section of the Claude design system to make this ad landing page. And what you can see here on the left is essentially the prompt that I made within Claude to design the ideal page that I could then export into Claude Design. And it was trained off of two simple things: our top ads and the copy and the messaging that have worked. And then second, our best offer, which is the buy one, get one offer. So you can see all the context there. So it starts to do the design as you can see it right here. It actually had an image here that I didn't like. So to make a change, you essentially go comment, and then you can start typing. So I said, instead of doing an e-commerce image, use user-generated images. And it pulled these in because, again, I already have a library of user-generated content and images. So here you can see the sticky navigation. I had it optimize the web page from the perspective of a conversion rate optimization specialist. So that way it always has a clear call to action. But this page, it designed it in desktop, it designed it in mobile. Now I could simply take out the code and put it into my Shopify page or Shopify template. Building a page for one specific offer or audience almost always beats sending people to that one generic page, but it can be time consuming, right? And Claude gives you the superpowers to do that well. And just to drive home the impact of this, we worked with one health company, Sword Health, and we built a custom page for a very specific audience. And it did over 1,800% better than the generic page where everyone was being funneled to. And with the design system, you can create a new on-brand page like that for every offer, every persona, just in a few minutes. By the way, if you're running an e-commerce brand and you're stuck at a certain revenue number and you want to get past it, you want to go to that next level, click on the first link in the description below to book a call with us. We've helped dozens of brands scale past 8 figures, and we'll look across your whole funnel, figure out what we need to fix, and can give you the playbook for it, or you could hire us, or maybe we're not a fit, but either way, we'd love to help. But let's get back to step 3. Step 3, design your email template. So the next place I use the design system is for email. A lot of brands run into a problem here where the email looks nothing like the website because they're built off of a default drag and drop block that's inside Klaviyo. So when your email looks generic, it doesn't feel like it came from that same brand someone just bought from, and usually gets ignored and the conversion rate's super low from it. So with your Claude design system, you can have Claude build an email template that's fully aligned with your brand with the messaging that works for ads, the templates that work for landing pages. So I'll just tell it what the email is for, like a welcome email or a product launch email for a new color or style. And it designs the whole template using our brand colors, fonts, and product images. All right, so context with email, we've had lifestyle images, product images to really help feed the type of content we would want to do for email. And then we're able to start making our back in stock campaigns for our best sellers right here, or we have a launch template for when we have a new color that we can put out. But what's really nice is we start to build a collection of different email templates we like that we can reuse again and again. The other exciting thing is that this integrates with Klaviyo, so these naturally can go into Klaviyo as an HTML file. It syncs with the product, so all the links are set up so it's seamless to design within Claude and then push it right into your email tool like Klaviyo. Then you can bring that template into your email tool and reuse it, so every email you send actually looks like it came from your brand and your brand designers. From there, you can use that same template across all of your emails. So your welcome series, your abandonment cart series, your promotions, all have that same look and feel without having to design each one from scratch yourself. Step 4, design your ad statics and social posts. So the last place where I use the design system is usually the one that takes the most time, and that's your ad statics and social posts. Between all the ad creative you can test and keeping your social media active, you're designing way more of these assets than anything else. So you can have Claude Design make a whole batch of on-branded ad statics at once. So I'll give the angle or the messaging I want to test, and it designs the statics with my product, with my colors and my fonts, so it's ready to go. I'll even have Claude do some research to find the best ad templates of high-performing brands and leverage those to make our designs. So now I'm creating an ad. I basically found a template of an ad I really like that I want to recreate for our brand. So I uploaded the ad and I put context. I'm like, hey, switch out the images, use these images, find a good testimonial that speaks to the problem, and then also include a product shot. And then I said, hey, before you make this ad, ask me up to 3 questions. So it says, hey, what images do you want to use? Which product to feature? What size do you want it to be? I answer these, hit continue, and now it's going to start creating it for me. So now you can see what it came up with. It did regular shirts, it did neat shirts, it pulled in the testimonial that I wanted, it put the image that I wanted, and I really like this headline. Looked 100% dry after 6 hours in 90-degree heat. Why 10,000 plus guys are switching to neat. This is great. But again, I think this could be cropped in a little bit more, so I could go in here, leave a comment, please crop this image a little more. And I can hit send on that. The next thing I could do is I can actually switch out these shirts with other assets that I have, or I could be happy with them. But overall, pretty exciting that this happened within 10 seconds of me entering in the prompt. And then the same thing can work for your organic social posts. You can have it design a batch of posts in the same colors, fonts, product images, so your feed actually looks consistent and on brand. All right, so here's what I did for social posts. I basically said I want to do a series of customer-focused social posts where find some of the best testimonials, customer reviews, and turn those into social post assets. And in the background, put an e-commerce shot, a user-generated content shot, or an editorial shot. And then I had it interview me. It said how many posts to start with. I said 3. Which images? I said a mix of all 3. And it asked for dimensions. Let's go for Instagram feed to do square. And here's what it came back with. There's the e-commerce shot. Here's the user-generated shot. And then an editorial one from our latest photo shoot. And the cool thing is these are some of my favorite reviews that it pulled in without me having to prompt it, because it already has that database. Now that we have this series, we could scale this out and make so many more to just arm our social team with what they need to schedule posts. And because everything comes from the same design system, your ads and your social posts are all in alignment with each other. It's not about having a designer on one vertical on another that aren't aligned on the brand aesthetic. So once the whole system is built, you can design things for your brand in literally a fraction of the time it used to take. Now, before I let you go, if you're an e-commerce brand owner and you'd like to have your entire funnel handled for you, including ads, your email, your creative, your website optimization, leveraging this same AI system, click the link in the description below for a free strategy call. We'll take a look at your brand and your funnel together and figure out what's holding you back the most and where you could focus to go to that next level of growth, to scale to 8 figures and beyond. We could do everything for you, or we could build the AI system so you can do it yourself. So again, book a free call by clicking the link below, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to watch me do Claude design on making really high performing ad creatives and do it live, check out this next video. I think you'll get something out of it.